Yo, what is going on, guys? We have a pile up right here of Frog's mods. I want to talk a little bit about Froggy and his mods and the quality of them, relating back to my last video, which I'm going to link in the description, but I'm also going to put a card up top, and you'll be able to see that as well. The other thing I'm going to link is his original video where he talks about console mods and why he most likely isn't going to have any console mods. Something we discovered after they dropped, though, just so everyone's aware, is that SnowRunner tests the mods and decides that they go to console. I don't believe the modders themselves make that decision on their own. The other thing I want to say, guys, drop a like on the video and make sure you hit that sub button. Thanks for tuning in. I'm really excited to get into this with you guys and review each model rather than just talk about Frog and talk about his mods. I actually want to show you them. Let's look at them together, guys. Alright, so first up, we have Frog's first gen Ram. Let's pull it up here, take a look at it. At the end of this video, you can see me actually purchase and customize all these trucks for reference. So when you look at the exterior, the model's actually pretty decent. The tires are decent, the rims are decent. The sound for this type of Ram, it makes sense. But look at the interior. This isn't finished. You don't have gauges, like, it's just... The mirrors work, which is a good thing, but you don't have gauges. There's no logo here. It's not finished. And that's not a finished mod, in my opinion. It just screams MudRunner, like a lot of the mods that he has. But now that we're done with this, we're going to jump into the next one. So let's recover this so we can get ready to sell this. And now we're going to check out Frog's 2019 Ranger Raptor. This one was something I was really interested in when it first came out. Now, he puts in the title that it's a Ford Ranger Raptor, and it has Raptor and Ranger badges behind, but it doesn't have a Ford logo in the tailgate, and it's Ford in the front. I can understand removing the Ford logo for copyright concerns, but there is some other Ford vehicles, I believe, and like you have Ranger, you have Raptor, the exact badging, and you have Ford in the front, but you don't have the badge in the rear, so that doesn't really add up to me. And again, here we are with a really cheap, crappy interior. The mirrors do not work, either side mirror, and we have these weird stickers in the radio. The gauges aren't done. It's just an all red interior, which, you know what, I think you like. A red interior is fine, but it's just not finished. Although everything else matches up to Ford, like the volume buttons, the phone buttons, the gear shifter, the cluster, all that stuff. Now, the sound on this mod isn't too bad either. The lights are pretty precise. Yeah, so, and there's detail in the suspension. So it's not a great mod, in my opinion, but it's not a horrible mod either. And I think I can live with the lack of interior. But again, these stickers, like, I don't understand that. And the interior, I mean, it's not hard to polish interior and get working mirrors. Everyone else does it, why can't you, Frog? Why can't you do it on this truck? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it's fine. And we're going to check out this monstrosity. Monster. This one got a lot of... Yeah, I actually just clipped that, didn't I? Yep, I did. So the sound seems realistic for something like this. I don't think this would ever exist like this to begin with. The suspension's pretty detailed. There's a brake rotor in the middle, which is kind of interesting, but it is what it is. And here's, yet again, another Froggy interior with all this camo, crappy texture all around. And this was a MudRunner mod, from my understanding, so this makes sense, because this screams MudRunner. But, again, it's just, it doesn't make sense. So this is a novelty truck, in my opinion. Great to, like, you can never really actually use this, I don't think, for any contracts or tasks. It just wouldn't make sense. And it's limited because of its super long wheelbase in a lot of scenarios, in my opinion. But it doesn't seem needed, and again, it is a crappy mod for the most part. But it's great just for the meme, and that makes sense to me, just on that note. You can actually lift it a little bit more, too, as if it didn't have enough lift. But now let's retain these trucks, and let's jump into the first Tesla Cybertruck out of the 3 that he has available. Now, the Tesla Cybertruck model, I like a lot. I'm not gonna lie. The lights on it are nice. So tires make sense. The lift kit, not so much. I feel like the Tesla interiors are pretty basic, but this just seems a little too basic and cheapened out on my end. And it has no sound, which is really nice. That's so it makes sense. But again, guys, there's no interior here. Can Frog make an actual real interior? I don't know. I don't think he can. I really don't. Nothing that would meet any standard that other mod developers in the community meet. But again, it is what it is, and this is one of 3 Tesla Cybertrucks. So that's all I got to say on that one. Let's go ahead and jump into the Semaphore excursion. This one I also believe was on MudRunner. Now here's an interior that is, you know, I'll be fair game and say it is basically complete. We have tinted taillights, we have the Ford logo in the front, we have the Ford logo in the back, we have excursion, the rims, the whole 9 yards, and the interior has gauges, has a realistic steering wheel. The radio's not fully detailed, but that's okay. Like this is a step up for interior, and the mirrors work. Like so, this makes sense, and the sound seems realistic. This mod I actually think is not bad, like a 7 out of 10 maybe. It's got the TNB, the detail, and the suspension. It makes sense. We're gonna go ahead and recover this one now as well. We'll check out this Can-Am Renegade. Okay, so it's like way too loud for one. Not see it ever sound like that. But it is unique. I gotta shut this off. It's gonna drive me nuts. You can change the suspension on it as well. It's very detailed though, so I'll give them that. But I mean, the exhaust pipes being right here and how loud it is doesn't make any sense in my opinion. So again, another mod I don't think we ever needed. Novelty maybe, but. And here's what he calls his Stockish Cybertruck. So he's got 3 Cybertrucks on there. 2 of them are just normal Cybertrucks, but one of them has a Duramax. And, you know, the model's a model. The model isn't bad, but the interior needs something. This is just ridiculous. This is not the interior that you should have on a Tesla Cybertruck for SnowRunner. It just doesn't make any sense. So we'll go ahead and recover that. The custom crawler is one that I was interested in for sure. It is really loud, but that can make sense for a Can-Am custom crawler. We do have the suspension lifted. We do have all these high beams. These backlights turn red, which doesn't make sense to me. The suspension's very detailed. The engine's detailed. Like everything's detailed on this. This makes sense. I like this. This is one of the ones that I don't think is that bad. We'll talk more about them when I go through actually setting them up. You'll catch later in. Then we have this Peterbilt 351. The interior, it sounds realistic. The interior and gauges are nice, but they don't move or respond to anything. But this is a step up interior-wise. And I'm puzzled to see where he gets the interior for the like odd trucks that he has them. And that's why I think some of them are ripped, or, you know, I don't know what all goes into that aspect. But the rest of the model is kind of bland in my opinion, and not something I've been very interested in at all. So we're going to go ahead and recover this. It's not a bad model, but again, it's not that useful in my opinion. We got this Troopy. Lots of stickers. Detail on the outside makes sense. Kind of reminds me of like an Australian off-road truck that you see. The mirrors work, but the interior, there's no gauge. The interior doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. The sound seems a little unrealistic, but not that bad. The stickers are a nice add-on. So this model, if it had a more realistic interior, I think would be kind of cool. And it's got the snorkel, it's got everything else. But again, it just doesn't have, in my opinion, everything that we need. So when you think about a mod, like, it's more mods than not just don't have any interior, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. We'll go ahead and recover that. Check out the cat eye real quick. So we got no Chevy badging, but it is clearly a Chevy model. We got the exhaust smoke coming out the hood. Again, no Chevy badging. The suspension's detailed and everything. The lights make sense. And again, we have another bland interior that isn't finished. So this is another mod that I don't think is that great. Again, and this, I'm not even going to bother pulling it out. It's got an engine and a giant pickle. So again, it's another meme truck, but it's not anything really worth downloading. Again, another mod that Frog just didn't put any time or effort into. Now this K1500 single cab, this is something I'm actually going to do a mod review on at a later date, because this is pretty decent. The model's pretty exact, really. There's a lot of detail in the suspension, and the interior is pretty well fulfilled. Like, this looks like a realistic K1500 interior. So this is something I can support. This is a mod that I think is somewhat decent, and we're going to do a review on that one later. This Impala, 1996 Impala SS. The engine sound makes a little bit of sense. The lift and everything doesn't, really. I don't. But again, we have no interior, basically. Very, very little interior detail, and the mirrors do not work. So this, again, is going to be another mod that just isn't finished, but you can change the suspension if you need a little more lift, so that's a bonus, right? We have the Duramax Tesla. Now, this is creative. I think, like, it doesn't make sense in one regard, but in another regard, I can see someone swapping in a Duramax and getting rid of the batteries. But again, we have no interior, and that just doesn't make sense to me either. We're going to go ahead and recover that. Now we have Cat's trailer rig. We got the plow and everything. Again, no Chevy badging, and this interior has a little bit, but still, like, I guess it's a trailer rig interior. He got lucky on this one, but it's not as detailed as it could be or should be. And the plow makes sense. The plow's nice. Overall, the model's not that bad. But again, the interior needs some work, and I don't understand why we have the pipe where it is. So we'll go ahead and recover that. And this, we got the battle truck. I can't turn on the lights or it's going to start making a whole lot of sound. This is another meme truck. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't know when you would ever use this at all. Hardly any visibility. Interior, again, doesn't have anything, but the interior suits the battle truck part of it. Again, just another meme mod. And last but not least, the Frogg's 240SX. Lifted. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. But again, we got no interior. So this is where I'm going to wrap it up, guys. A link for the video where Frog talks about console mods is referenced below. My original one about Frog is also referenced below. I will say this. I think like 20% of the mods he makes that are public make sense, and they're worthy, and they're a decent mod overall. Fit and finish and everything. The other 80%, though, they're just crap. They're junk. I don't know why everyone supports Frog's mods. When you look at the paid access version, I mean, Yeah Buddy commissions them to be done. The trucks that Yeah Buddy gets done for paid access, they're actually pretty decent. Some of the interiors are pretty decent on them as well. And it's a shame that they're not on console. It's a shame that they're not public. But it makes sense, you know. Yeah Buddy's commissioning them and paying for them. He can recover some of that money, because I know a lot of time money goes into it, and I'm not a modder myself. You know what? I might even start getting into it, maybe. I'm not sure, but I'm not a modder myself. So I know a lot of work goes into these mods, but there are a lot more mod developers in the SnowRunner mod community that put a lot more effort and time and detail into their mods to bring you a really good mod. And I don't think Frog is one of those people, in my opinion. He gets mad every time someone says anything bad about his mods. He can't take criticism. He deletes the comments off the mod pages. He uses models that he knows are stolen. He bullies people in the code. The list goes on. So, you know, I think maybe someday he'll get out of this like mud runner punk vibe and maybe actually make a decent mod for SnowRunner that's public. But everything else, for the most part, just screams mud runner. Data interiors, really loud, overbearing sounds that don't make sense. And SnowRunner can handle and support so much more than that. And I don't think Frog deserves the opportunity to continue making mods for the SnowRunner community. And I don't think he deserves the opportunity to keep putting down other people and other people's mods. You know, if he took criticism and he didn't delete every negative comment, that would make sense. You know, he can't delete this video at the end of the day, so this will stay, and so will the other video. And the truth is out there about the code that he put in to bully people, and the truth is out there about the models that he stole too. He can't delete everything. Sure, he can delete the comments that are negative from his mod pages, but he can't delete everything. But that's it. So if you want to know why Frog has console mods up right now, it's not exactly in his control. And he had no intentions of doing it. Truthfully, he had no intentions of having console mods because he can't have paid access, private access, which he knew there's a lot more console players. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Don't forget to like and sub. Alright, let's customize some Froggy trucks. Let's do his 1996 Impala SS first. Because I want to show. So this, like, I don't think you'd ever see a lifted Impala like this, really. Like, it would be very rare to see, but I don't think this belongs in SnowRunner. But that's alright, because we're going to check it out. We have the performance engine in. We're just going to keep that on. We have the off-road gearbox. We can actually lift it higher for some reason. And we can put bigger tires on. We're going to put 39s on. And, yeah. So that's the Impala. So we're going to drive this out and park it, like, for whatever reason. I'm not entirely sure, but we're going to do it. And we're going to go through and buy some other ones. This Cat Eye battle truck. Yeah, we'll do this as well. Upgraded. We can lower it. That's cool. All right. Now, I did do a review on this one, and it was a little bit better. I'm not going to lie. But, like, this is ridiculous. So the plow kind of makes sense, for sure. But this, like, really, we need a battle truck, but we'll take it. Yeah. So this, I did review not on the battle truck, but it's actual, you know, normal truck form version of it. And it wasn't bad. I'm not going to lie, it wasn't bad. It seemed a little underpowered. It did not seem like it could do what you would expect of it. Get this trophy here. Stock. 35s, stock. Okay. Alright. That sounded a little funky. And the reason why I'm showing you guys this, you know, is because I want you to see what I'm customizing. 1,000 horsepower. Like, why do we need this? And the big thing I think that I'm not really putting out there that I need to communicate a little bit better is that I think some of Frog's mods are pretty creative, but I have a hard time seeing the quality in a lot of the mods. And I know the younger generation that we have in SnowRunner, like, fangirls over him, like preteens for the most part, and that's cool. There is some mods that he does that are really, really good, like the paid access ones, for example. A lot of the public ones are kind of weird. So ludicrous, off-road, lifted hauler, 44 studded. Yeah, like, those studs are insane. Bed stuff, sure. Rim of sorts. Okay, I do have to say, the one thing that I can say about his mods is the Tesla Cybertruck is true to being a Tesla, because it does not make a single bit of sound. You can change the suspension mode on that? Okay, cool. I don't know what truck I left on, but that's fine. And so when I exposed Frog, something came up. And I'm going to put the link down in the description, guys, for reference. But he originally stated that he wasn't going to do public mods. And the reason why is because he can't test them on console beforehand, privately. But that was just because he can't profit off of it. He can't make them private, so he could do paid access. And that was his concern. Whether he wants to admit that or not, that's his choice. But it is kind of deceiving. And since then, like, why does this Can-Am sound like this? That is ridiculous. That is extra ridiculous. Ooh. Yeah. But, you know, so whether he wants to admit that or not, that's fine. But the one thing that I do want to make clear is that at the time the console mods were such a hot topic, That was a time that he had no interest in putting them out there again because you couldn't do paid access. So to me, that sounds like it's because you can profit off of it, which, you know, that's a modder's choice. I don't think you have to make just free mods. If any of the guys that I do mod reviews on did paid access, I would pay into it probably and do the mod review on it. But it's one thing when you don't do paid access. It's another thing when you do it, and when you do it, you are deceiving about why certain mods aren't going to come to console, or any mods. And one of the big things that I think people tend to forget is that console base is a large base of the player base for SnowRunner, and a lot of games. So if you're going to do paid access mods and you can't do it on console, why not just make them free on console, the ones that you normally do paid access for, so that people can enjoy it on console? Give them a little something extra, you know? The one thing I really want to say about Frogg's mods, though, is that there is some that are really good. Very few, but they do exist. One mod in particular, actually series of mods, are the ones that he does for, yeah, buddy. Look at these attachments, actually. You can't even see all of them because visor is a frame add-on, apparently. There could be a bug here that might not be specific to the mod. It could be a bug in the string. But yeah, that's, you know, at the end of the day, it's everyone's decision whether they want to do paid access or not. But don't say in a video that you're not going to do console mods because you can't private test them and then end up releasing them anyways. But what I did learn, though, just so everyone knows, is that you actually do not get the opportunity to choose whether they go on console or not. So from my understanding, whoever is going to review your mod kind of makes that deciding factor for you. And so having said that, maybe the mods that are coming, he doesn't actually get an option to find out. He gets no option at all to find out if they're actually going to be console or not. He has no say in it, and that makes sense for sure. I believe that could happen. Flotation tires. I'll take these tires. So, oh, this thing's one of the most ridiculous things I've seen in my entire life. It really is. And like I said, I'm not doing this right now to knock on Frog, but I've gotten a lot of comments on that original video I did stating that they're on console and yada yada yada. He didn't choose to put them on console, from my understanding. SnowRunner chose for him, like they do with everyone's mods. So I think that's a neutral thing. But again, in the video that is linked in the description, you will see where he clearly indicates, and this is a Duramax edition Tesla, because that makes sense, where he clearly indicates that he's not going to do console mods because he can't do private access. And a lot of people seem to think his mods are, you know, the best mods available and they're the greatest things on earth. If you believe that, that's your right to believe that for sure. But I'm gonna, you know, rather than just like talk like I did in the video about these mods, I'm gonna sit here and go through them all and show you. They're really not, they're not the end all for mods. They really aren't. So we got the performance engine, off-road gearbox, stock, 45's on, yeah. Stockish. That's a great title. Like, why do we have 3 different Cybertrucks. That I'll definitely never understand. And that's not me being judgy. I just don't understand it. Why we have 3. I guess I can leave this engine on realistically. Doesn't make any sound. We already did the battle truck, but we'll do this version just so it's there. So you can put the plow. I'm going to put the plow just because it shows a little bit more of a unique version of it. And that battle sound is when you turn on the lights, by the way. I found that out thanks to one of my subs. Indicated that for me. And it doesn't stop unless you go in the garage. Like, why do we have the Pickle Rick mobile? I do not understand this at all. But you know what? Well, and why does that have 53 trail grab? E-brake doesn't work, by the way, Frog. Just gotta find the pickle to find our place again. Now this crawler, I will say, is something I thought that made a little bit of sense. Especially because this is one of the early mods. And the light bar, I gotta show that. The light bar is nice. I will give him that. Oh wait, we can lift this, I think. Yeah, there we go. Boom. $240 SX. Oh, we still got a couple more. This was another thing I didn't understand. Why we have a 240 SX. Alright, we got the Ranger Raptor and the first gen Ram, and I honestly think that's it. Now this model, by the way, I believe was ripped from somewheres. And someone can comment below that's familiar with the files. I don't want to say it was ripped for sure, but almost positive it was. I believe it might have been ripped from Forza, the same as the Hennessy or the Raptor. I believe this is a Forza model, which is theft if he's using another game's model. And one thing that he will hide behind, and his fan base will hide behind, is the fact that these models are given to him. 9 times out of 10 he knows where it comes from, and if he doesn't, he can tell pretty fast that they're ripped. I mean, other people can tell without even looking at the game files, so I don't understand how a mod developer can't tell on his own. Let's just make sure the first gen Ram is the last one. We got a bunch of Russia. Yeah, I don't think he did anything for Russia, or Russia region specific for sure. This first gen Ram though, I think was not too bad really. Alright, there we go.